Area Plan Commission to order, and just a couple of items of business. First, there are agendas available on back here, and they have information about our Title VI. In addition, please turn off all of your cell phones, things that make noise, or silence them. If you need to take a call, please step out for that. And if you're here to speak, if you could please sign in. There is a sign-in sheet at the podium. You can do that either before or after you finish your remarks. And with that, we'll have roll call.
Greg Burris.
Here.
Melvin Canada.
Here.
John DeLee.
Here.
Adam Devon.
Here.
Harry Budek.
Here.
Robert Hawley.
Here.
Martin Madigan.
Here.
Elizabeth Meredith.
Here.
John McNamara.
Here.
And Dr. Thacker.
Here.
Okay, thank you. And with that, we will have reading of first petition.
Rezonings A. A proposed ordinance of Vienna Tamara Christman to zone from R single-family district and A agricultural district to R single-family district. Property located at a vacant lot on the southwest corner of Jackson Road, River Road, St. Joseph County, agency number 2910-9.
Staff report?
Yes, thank you. The petitioner is requesting a zone change from our single-family and A agricultural district to our single-family district for the area outlined in red on the screen. To the north across Jackson Road are single-family homes on our single-family district. To the east of the property across River Road are single-family homes on our single-family and A agricultural district. To the south is a single-family home, total farmland, and forest zone A agricultural district. And to the west is the single-family home, total farmland, and a forest zone A agricultural district. In 1979, this area was included in the zoning consisted of 300 square miles of St. Joseph County to new intensive A agricultural district. The goal of this rezoning was to preserve land of high agricultural importance and discourage development where public services such as sewer and water are not available and would not be in the long term. In 2012, this the residentially zoned portion of the 77-acre parcel to the west was rezoned PUD for the compound. On-site currently is still farmland. Here is a view of the property from Fur Road looking north. There is no site plan at this time. Their intent is to subdivide this lot at a future time. Future development will need to meet the development standards of the R single-family district. I would just like to reiterate my comments about the comprehensive plan. And this petition is not consistent with the comprehensive plan for South and St. Joseph County, Indiana. Goal 1 is to minimize loss of agricultural land. The petition is also inconsistent with goal 1, objective A, minimize the amount of new development area in areas with high agricultural importance. And it's also inconsistent with goal 1, objective A, policy 3, direct investment away from areas. Goal 3, specific soil types. Petition outlined in the yellow circle there is 2 of the 3 soil types that are recommended as preserved for agricultural uses. In 1979, St. Joseph County was zoned for miles of the county. Part of this petition, property was included in this change. The intent of the district was to strongly enforce the preservation of agricultural land in St. Joseph County. Agricultural land is a natural resource that must be protected to meet the food needs of not only Indiana but the entire country. The plan highlights the issues of allowing suburban sprawl to infiltrate into agricultural areas, including increases in the county's burden to provide services, non-farm complaints of odors, chemical spraying, fertilizing, and night farming could interrupt farm operations, and scatter residential sites, fragment economic farming tracts, thereby causing land to take more protection. Based on this information, we will file a public hearing. The staff recommends sending this rezoning petition to the County Council with an unfavorable recommendation. Agricultural areas have economic importance that must be preserved. Allowing this kind of development is inconsistent with the objectives of the comprehensive plan and with the intent of the 1979 agricultural zoning modification. This area is shown as being of high agricultural importance. Development must minimize everything possible to minimize the impact on agricultural land and utilities are generally.
Thank you. Commission have any questions for staff? If not, then we'll hear from the petitioner.
Good afternoon, my name is Bernie King, I'm a registered land surveyor, 715 South Michigan Street, here in South Bend. I'm here this afternoon on behalf of Dan Chrisman, the owner of the property in question. This property is located on the south side of Jackson Road, halfway exactly between 331 and Dome Road. The property is, we are not asking for strip lots like those that exist along the east side of Fur Road here, nor along the west side of 331. What we are looking to do is a comprehensive residential plan for this particular piece of property. With that in mind, I have brought projects before this body wherein we had split zoning like this property has, and it was generally considered that the residential zoning was compatible with the adjacent properties and could be extended into those properties. The split zoning of agricultural and residential was also existing at the southwest corner of Elm and Jackson back several years ago on the Everhart farm when that was rezoned for the use of South Bend Orthopedic and Beacon Health Center. We would ask for the same type of consideration. The ag land was not a consideration in those rezonings at that time. Currently, we have sewer within 4,000 feet of our project. Actually, we have 2 points of sewer availability, both to the east of this property. One sewer is available at about the 4,000 foot mark. The other sewer is available right around 5,000 feet. The soils at this particular property have been tested and would be suitable for residential development. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, folks.
Thank you. Any questions?
How close is yours to the South Bend Orthopedic?
I'm sorry, Mr. Davis, I can barely hear you.
Yours, how close, you're not that close to the South Bend Orthopedic, or?
1 mile.
It's 1 mile?
Right. A little over 4,000 feet.
And you're saying that we approved something very similar to that before?
Right. The zoning on South Bend Orthopedic was both residential and agricultural. The Everhart farm at that time was agricultural and had been laid out in 20-acre tracts throughout its entirety. South Bend Orthopedic came in with their plan, and then Beacon or St. Joe Hospital jumped on with theirs as well. The north, it's about the north 40 acres of the property that had originally been the Everhart farm there was set aside for South Bend Orthopedic and the hospital functions.
Bernie, you mentioned sewer line is available about 4,000 feet away.
Yes.
Are you thinking of that being connected at some point, or are you thinking of septic system?
Actually, at this particular point, we're thinking of septic systems, but if it becomes a critical issue, we do have the availability of sewer.
Thank you.
Can we ask staff, is there a response to the issue regarding the similarity of our vote with the?
With medical.
Yes.
Elm Road, yeah. So the difference there at that site was its relation to the bypass. It has an exit ramp right there. It also has support from the Capitol Avenue land use plan, which was amended to incorporate multi-story office building. And it also recommended that it could potentially be used for industrial purposes. So because of that backing from the Capitol Avenue corridor plan, that's why that site was recommended approval. And this one is a little bit different situation.
Okay.
And it has sewer and water.
Thank you. Any further
Is there
questions?
an actual, I mean, is this just for future? Is there an actual plan? Is there actually going to develop it soon, or is this just?
Do we have any idea?
Mr. Devon, the developer has decided in this, or the owner has decided in this particular case, not to enter into that phase until such time as the zoning issue has been clarified. We either have the north 660 feet available for residential development, or we have 63 acres. The plans would be very different for each.
Any further questions? If not, thank you.
Thank you, folks.
We will open the discussion to the public, and I just want to remind everybody that you have 5 minutes to make your comments. Anyone who wishes to speak in favor for this petition, you can please step forward now. Seeing none, then if anyone would like to speak against this petition, please step forward now.
Hello, my name is Randy Brick. I'm one of the houses that are right across the street. I talked to Mr. Grisman.
Could you state your address, Mr. Brick?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Pardon?
sorry.
Could you state your address for the record?
I live at 60244 South Fur Road, Mishawaka.
Thank you, sir.
This is my property. I talked to Mr. Grisman the day we got this letter, and he explained to me that he was going to divide it into 2-acre lots and put a subdivision in. He's putting 8 houses at the corner at 1-acre lot apiece. Every one of these would have to have a mound system because there is no septic available. And he doesn't realize the water system that we have out there. I own that property for 35 years, lived across the street since 1956. The ground out there floods all the time, as all the neighbors here can know. To buy that piece of property and put 28 houses on is ridiculous. They'd never be able to support on the roads. They haven't redone our roads in years. And the last time they did it, they ground it all up and left it the way it was. So for him to just buy that property and put 28 acres out, and put 28 houses on that property, just, to me, is just uncalled for. If you can see the road, that, all they did was grind it up, roll it down, and left it. And this is that way for years. Yeah, over a 3-month time, it took to grind that up and left it the way it is. So to come out there and do all this construction and build 28 houses across the street from us, I just can't see it. I have petitions here from 80 neighbors.
If you, yeah,
I didn't get to get them all because it was too late in the evening. But as you can see, they've got a nice turnout here of, this is all my neighbors that do not want to have this facility built. And when they built the property out there at the corner of Elm and Jackson, that was completely different. The gentleman signed that sold him the property because he lives now at the old fire department on Fur Road at the corner.
Okay.
Any questions for you?
no, this is just for opportunity for you to give a statement. We don't ask questions. Okay, thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak against, please step forward. You can state your name and address for the record.
My name is Allison Pascarella. I live at 60610 Fur Road. I'm a little bit, you want to know where I'm on the map? Okay, so I'd like to reiterate some of this. This road, they put, I think it's called chip, and then they leave it. And then they come through multiple times a year and fill in all the holes that then get torn up. Mostly because, well, one, it's a very small road, and I think it can be well-traveled, but also the water that we get, we put in $10,000 of drainage. We had to redo drainage because there's drainage that goes underneath this road from the field. Even with that, when we have a heavy rain, within about an hour, we have a minimum of 1 acre of our land flooded with 1 to 2 feet of water. It washes out our woods. It's taken probably about 12 feet off of the bank. We've lived there 5 years, 12 feet off of the bank of Rogers Ditch, where we live. So these are not like small little problems. These are my children in my front yard, kayak and canoe. I'm not joking. I mean, my neighbors are stressing all the time. Fun for a 12-year-old. This is not fun for a homeowner. And that is with our drainage placed in. This is with drainage that can drain it off within 2 to 3 days, so we don't have whatever grows out there. So I have multiple concerns with the idea of what will happen with the water. This is not water coming off of the fields across from us. That water is going down and under. This is water that's running from those fields, going across to all of these houses, flooding them, still continues to come down, I don't know, a mile
crosses our street, wipes out our street. We've had to have the council or I don't know what it's called, streets have come out. We've had to explain to them that it's a hazard because it ices over in the winter. We've had issues with concerns about people getting in car accidents, and it also washes out the road. And they have to come in and continue to add. So this is not a small water problem. I just wanted to reiterate this. This is a massive water problem, even with great drainage that we've placed in. So that's a huge concern. I think we're all concerned about. We put in that many mounds, what's going to happen to our water system. We're all on wells. Right now we have beautiful water, but I mean that's a massive concern for us as well. And can the infrastructure of our road, which I know if we have it on the corner, but if we are putting in 28 houses, figure 50-some cars coming up and down a road that can't manage the cars that we have on it now, where people pull over to let somebody by, how's that going to work for where we live? I think it's going to be detrimental to our neighborhood. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Good afternoon. My name is Terry Clark. I live at 15239 Jackson Road with my wife Julie and I. And I know I speak for, obviously, my wife Julie, who couldn't be here, our neighbors, Todd and Dina Lehman, who are just directly to the east of us, and actually several other neighbors that couldn't be here today. Had this meeting been at 6 or 6:30, you would not have had enough chairs for the people to speak here. In the interest of time, I agree with everything so far. So I live on Jackson Road. I'm just north of the proposed plot, northwest, if my wife would say the upper left. So northwest. My three major issues: one, safety. Where our house sits, we're on the west side of the hill coming down Jackson Road, and then likewise there's a slight hill that goes up Jackson as you head west. So when we pull out our driveway, there are cars that come flying over the hill, either from both sides, that are hard to see. I'm concerned about if there's additional traffic, what that might do. I'm not sure what they're planning, if the entrance and exit to this subdivision would be on Jackson or on Fur Road. But regardless, even the intersection, if you've ever driven and been heading north on Fur and trying to turn left on Jackson, it is extremely hard to see, and traffic just flies up and over the hill. Second issue of safety. As a runner, I have been on those roads multiple times. I know that asphalt probably more intimate than anyone in this room, having been on it as many times. There's a spot, it's at approximately 15075 Jackson Road. It would be on the south side of Jackson, so it would be on the north side of this border, where the side ditch doesn't support the water running through. So when it rains, I don't like to get my shoes wet, right? So I have to run around the water, of course, then run into traffic. In the winter, that typically always freezes, so it creates a hazard in the winter for running, hard to run on ice, and also for driving. As cars drive by, they have to swerve a little bit. In addition, on Fur Road, at about, again, on the west side of Fur, there's another spot on the side ditch that every time it rains, probably where you were talking, every time it rains, there's water in the road. And then, of course, in the winter, that water, of course, freezes. So those are certainly some concerns of mine. The flooding. So just to the east of our house at 15201 is Roosevelt Ditch. Every spring, Roosevelt Ditch floods and backs up. The runoff, as you're from this property, the creek runs through that woods on the northwest side and down under Jackson Road, and then north above Jackson through the ditch, and it backs up. My neighbor's yard becomes a pond, just like they mentioned earlier on Fur. Our road becomes a pond. I don't know about y'all, but I have a zero-turn lawnmower. I can't use it. I have to use my push mower for about probably 4 weeks because the yard is so wet that I can't get a zero-turn lawnmower. So those are mostly my concerns. I'm sure the developers will say, well, hey, we've done this 100 times. We know that we have to have certain drainage storage facilities, but I would like some assurances that the water will be properly intercepted. And I'd recommend that some additional research be done. This is not just an ordinary plot. I think you've already heard there's a lot of water problems, and I think additional research needs to be done if they're gonna move forward to make sure that all of the drains and all of the ditching can support the additional work. So for all those reasons, I know I don't have a vote, but I'm definitely against it.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
My name is Joe Pizzona, and I'm here with my wife Tammy. If you could, is there any chance you could blow that, move that up a little bit?
No, it's a stationary, yeah.
Okay, anyways, this is a 50-acre tract right here that I purchased about 2 years ago. And I'm not gonna talk about the water and we know those are issues, and to say we're gonna put a septic in, and if there's a problem, we'll run sewer, that's not a plan. If there's gonna be a problem. That's a pondy area, that's a pondy area, that's a pondy area, but everyone's hit with this water. What I want to talk about is I purchased that 2 years ago. I paid a premium. I paid a premium because I knew how it was owned. I knew it was out in the country. I knew that there'd be more room, it'd be quieter. That's what I chose. And for the reasons that this gentleman talked about and how it was originally zoned, we know what it is. And I think, in my opinion, for me to buy those 50, and then just a couple years later, someone buys that and says we can develop it, I just don't think that's right. That zoning's been in place for decades. We know what it is out there. That's why you pay a premium. Okay? So, from our standpoint, we'd be very much against it. And if, those 8 acres up there on Jackson, I understand those are maybe zoned differently. I can't really talk to those, but that acre right there, that's just plain agricultural property. Exactly what it was zoned for, and I just support that it stays that, and the zoning doesn't occur. I mean, if there's a plan to do those 8 acres and it addresses septic and water and all that and infrastructure, I guess, but that lower portion is agriculturally zoned, I'd love to see that stay that way.
Okay, thank you.
And anyone that hasn't driven out there, I know as a group, you guys tend to look at pictures and maps. Drive out there. Drive down Jackson. Drive down Fur. Look at the pondy areas. Look at what the land is and say, does that really support 28 houses? Is that really what that's all about? And I think you probably.
Thank you. Did you sign in? If you could please sign in, yep. Anyone else? Thank you.
Janelle Martin, 15466 Jackson Road. I live about a half a mile from where this development is taking place on West High, south on Jackson Road, west of the development. And obviously, I'm not real thrilled about seeing 28 houses, what I understand, being put in there. But I have a larger concern, and that is that we're eating up agricultural land for development. And I see this as a big problem. We're losing it at a great rate in our country, and this is not something that can be easily put back together. Farmers are stressed because of the pressure of turning over agricultural land to development. They're crushed between costs for farming, low prices, and the inability to get land. Farmers are, unfortunately, a dying breed in the country. People who are willing to invest in the land. I know there are people who would have been willing to buy this for agricultural purposes. If the price had been reasonable for, but the pressure of development raises farmland prices and makes it very difficult to carry out. So I'm against the bill.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak against?
My name is Joanne Levy. I live at 60767 Fur Road. I used to live in the city. I lived on Calvert Street. My daughter was in a severe accident. So we moved to Fur Road. So it would be quiet. So she could walk down the street. We could see animal life. And if you do this, where the animals going to go? Our kids aren't even going to be able to walk down the street anymore. I don't want to hear cars driving down the road constantly. you know, so I'm definitely against it. And I don't want 28 houses next to my home. And when that guy bought that property, I spoke to him and he told me that he was buying the property, they were gonna build a home on it, and they were gonna leave it the way it was. So he lied to all these neighbors. And I think that's wrong. And now he wants to build. And I don't think he should. And that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. Can you please sign in, ma'am? Anyone else who'd wish to speak against the petition?
My name is James Stockbridge, I live at 60875 Fur Road. Been there for 36 years. And all the problems that they talked about are real. The drainage, the road condition. It took 3 months to chip and seal that road last time I did it. And it was worse shape than what was originally needed to be done. And it can't handle the traffic. And then when they with the septic systems, you have to probably all mountain systems in this area. There's not enough drainage, there's a lot of clay in the soil. And it's just a basket full of problems. Sure, ask them to open up to develop that out there. I'm against it.
Thank you. Anyone else who wishes to speak against? Seeing none, then we're close the public discussion. And with that, if the petitioner would like to rebuttal.
We understand the comments of the folks who have gotten up to speak their minds and speak in opposition to this petition. However, there are certain particular points that I would like to address. We certainly do not intend under any circumstances to adversely impact any of the people who have been out there and living there for quite some time. This may be a change of sorts if a development is done there, but change is what we incur on a daily basis. We do not expect to do it on the backs or at the expense of the neighbors who have spoken. We expect to be under scrutiny from the moment we turn the first shovel full of dirt, even before that. We expect further that we will end up having to develop the same set of rules that every developer in this county works to, that we will have to address drainage, we will have to address subsurface conditions, that we will have to address conditions that none of the surrounding owners may have had to address when they built their homes. So there are a number of pages of documents that we will have to conform to in order to build the first house, if any get built out here. One lady commented that she was lied to by the developer, and that is absolutely not the case. The developer absolutely considered that that was what he wanted to do when he went out there. And when he purchased that property, that was his goal. To maybe sell one 20-acre piece of property out there and to build on the rest of it. And to maybe have a farm as part of that property. But his plans changed over the course of time. Obviously, between the time he talked to the lady who brought it to everyone's attention and the current day. But he did not lie to her when he spoke with her. He spoke with her truly. So we intend to address our own drainage. We expect that that will be part of the plans that any developer will have to address going forward with this particular project. We have seen projects that we have started with 20 or 30 lots, get whittled down to 4 or 5 lots in the final analysis based on drainage. That happens. It is the developer's problem that he must deal with, not the adjacent owners. We have seen instances where the developer thought he was going to be able to do septic systems, but as it turns out, he ends up having to do sanitary sewer. In this particular case, the extension of that sanitary sewer would benefit everyone out there. We would ask for your favorable recommendation to the county council. We do not believe we are taking agricultural land out of production. This particular piece of property alone is 63 acres. If we were to sell 3 20-acre parcels, we would have eaten up the entire substance of this particular tract. Those 3 20-acre parcels would then be developed into 3 20-acre home sites. No farmer is going to pull his equipment into that property for 15 acres of tillable land. Consequently, even if these are sold as 20-acre parcels, the farmland is gone. Consider that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any additional staff comments? Okay. Any questions from the commissioners?
Is that currently farmed, or is that, do we know?
It is. That was
The public discussion's closed, ma'am. Public discussion is closed. What, to our staff? Any other questions? No? With that, well then I guess.
Do we know when the Christmans purchased the property?
A couple months ago. They offered it to me several months ago.
Yeah, you can't, yeah, we're, again, the public discussion is closed. If there's, no, sir, I'm sorry, the public discussion has already been closed. When we had the opportunity to come up and speak against her for, well, I'm sorry, it's, the public comment period is closed, so. I'm sorry, we cannot, unfortunately. So with that, I guess we'll entertain a motion.
Motion to send to the St. Joe County Council with an unfavorable recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and second to send it to the county council with an unfavorable recommendation. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, so it will be sent to county council with an unfavorable recommendation. Thank you. On to the next. Can we have a reading of the next petition, please?
Next amendment A, an ordinance amending or supplementing Title 15 Land Uses Chapter 154, Planning and Rezoning of the St. Joseph County Code as amended for the Section 154.556 membership. Modification in terms of the area board of zoning appeals, agency number 291119.
Can you just hold on?
Yeah, we can. Wait 1 second. Okay. Yep. Okay, yep, staff, if we can have a staff report.
All right, thank you. You're proposing an ordinance for a text amendment. Basically, this is going to be an amendment that establishes appointing bodies and initial term limits for the area board of zoning appeals. At the advice of council, and because of all the membership changes to the board that are required, it is recommended that we reestablish the area board of zoning appeals. This is a necessary step for the area board of zoning appeals to continue after the city of South Bend leaves its membership. Based on the information that will prior to public hearing, we will continue this testimony to the county council favorable recommendation. This amendment will allow for the continued service of the area board of zoning appeals to St. Joseph County.
Thank you. Say, are there any questions for staff? And this has a public comment. It's part of the, so is there anyone here to speak in favor of the petition?
Good job.
Seeing none? Is there anyone here to speak against the petition? Seeing none, we will close the public discussion and then ask if there are any more comments from staff. Any questions? And if not, then we would entertain.
Motion to send this to the county council with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to send it to county council with a favorable recommendation. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Great. We will move on to the items that do not require a public hearing. And first item looks like an appointment to the Plat Committee.
a member on the plat committee has asked the commission to consider another alternate for their team as they do some reorganization upstairs. They need a third alternate in order to make sure that they send someone to the plat committee twice a month. And that gentleman's name is Kyle Silgus. Sorry. So appreciate your recommendation to appoint him as an alternate to the committee.
Do we need a vote on that?
Yes.
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Great. On to the next. We have Executive Director's Report. Okay.
Oh, good.
On to the next. We have
I
minutes
move
from
we
April.
approve the minutes.
All those in favor? Aye. And with that, I guess we can motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Beautiful.
Way to go, Larry. Let's hear it for Larry.
Good job.
Thank you. Hey, Larry. These minutes have John's name on them, so I'm assuming I can't sign them. You don't want me to sign them? But he wasn't here, so I don't know what you want me to do. That's all.
Yeah, but he was at the last one, so he needs this.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's fine. If I need to sign them, you know how to.